Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Convos in the Cave, man. We are here. We are back. We are live. We are kicking. And we are here. You are now tuned into another episode of Convos in the Cave. I'm your host, Mel, speaking. Remember to click that like, comment, subscribe button on the way in. Talk to me in the comments. I'll talk back. Today's conversation, guys. We're going to go battle rap with it. Of course, we do this all the time. You know, I love battle rap, and we're not going to talk about that messy stuff. So don't think that you can come here and you're going to get all of that negative energy from me, because you're not. We're disregarding that. You know, it's been things that's been going around positively in the culture, and we are going to talk about it. But before we get into that, I want to salute to URL TV, Summer Madness 15, Loaded Lux versus Twerk is going down in London. Please, tickets, get your online purchasing, do everything you got to do to watch that battle, because it's going to be a good one. And being that he led with this matchup, I'm just curious and I'm on the lookout for whatever he has coming as far as other matchups that's going to be on this card. One thing I will say is Murder Mook will not be on this card. I was hoping that we can get a Lux and Murder Mook at the same time, but we're not. But we will be seeing Murder Mook and Hitman Holla on the TBL Takeover Battle League card, baby. Bulletproof is also going down September 13th. That's the week before. And I want to run down this card. You got Mook Hitman, you got Calico Rum Nitty, you got Arsenal, you got Jazz, you got Hollow, you got Swamp, you got Ab versus Rex, and you got Official versus Coffee Brown. So this card is going to be another card to look out for. So salute to Bulletproof and the Takeover Battle League and everything that they got going on. They just oversaturating us with good battles and good events after good events after good events. Speaking of good events, shout out to Kshine and the Rebirth card. That was the battle event that went down this weekend. And to be quite honest, I have nothing bad to say about this card, guys. I wasn't in the building, but I did purchase the pay-per-view, so shout out to you, Kshine. Salute to you. I'm definitely going to support, like I always say I'm going to support. But I just want to say that I'm just happy that this event turned out to be what it was, because it was well worth the wait. Through all of the trials and tribulations that Kshine went through with URL, transitioning to the Power Network and trying to secure this battle, and he was able to get it done. And he got it done with only 4 battles. But to be honest, I think a lot of battle leagues to take from Kshine in this battle, because I felt like even though they had the hiccups with the on-time issue, they wasn't on time, but it was cool. You know what I mean? It was one of those situations where it's nothing that not out of the norm. Like, we always used to these battle leagues doing these streaming events, and it takes a while before we get to showing. That's nothing new. But what we have to focus on, and what was important about this situation, is that every battle happened that was on the card. And not only did the battles happen, everyone was pretty solid, with the exception of Sirius Jones. He got smoked by Big T. And I'm going to start off with that battle before I run down. I just want to be honest, because I know Sirius Jones is the type that if you say something about his name, he say we using his name for clout. But it's not really clout. To be honest, I'm going to give my opinion on the battle. You gave me Charlie Clips vibes with, I felt like you wasn't prepared a little bit. As far as like, what I'm saying is that in certain points in your rhymes, you can tell you was freestyling. I don't know if you just did that out of creativity, but your bars wasn't hitting like that. And I think when you noticed that your bars wasn't hitting, you started to freestyle. But whatever. The bottom line is, Big T was the Big T that everybody wanted. Like, before I get into who Kshine was this night, I want to highlight the fact that it was not just the return of Kshine. This may have been the return of Big T because this was the best Big T I've seen in a long time, bro. You guys, if you haven't watched this event, you have to go. It's only $40 on a rewatch. Go on Rap Grid, purchase the $40. Watch the battle. It's well worth the watch. It's well worth your money spent. Every battle went down. Every body showed up and showed out. So, being that we starting with Big T versus Serious Jones, I feel like Big T won 3-0, clear as day. You cannot debate this. I don't care if you're a Serious Jones fan, bro. He lost his battle. Big T was in rare form, and he had that charisma. He had the flow patterns that he normally go into. He had those certain pockets. He just remind me of I put the piece behind your head, that Big T. And salute to Big T. Appreciate you taking this event seriously and showing out and showing up. JC versus Nick G was the actual first battle. I think I gotta give that a rewatch because I feel like JC bars was there, but Nick G had more aggression. So at certain points of the rounds, you can root for JC and you say he's cold with it, and then when Nick G get on, his aggression kind of take over the room a little bit. So I gotta watch that battle back. I'm definitely gonna watch that battle back, and I think I had bar for bar. I think I had JC 21. I think I had JC 21 first and the third. I think I gave Nick G the second, but don't quote me on that yet. I'll get back to you guys and give my predictions because I have to watch that for a second time. So Sharon versus Reed Dollaz. Now, you'll look at this battle and you'll say, I don't know why Reed Dollaz is battling Sharon, but when I tell you both parties showed up and showed out, Reed Dollaz had a slip up. He kind of choked in the second, I believe. He choked. And Sharon was able to capitalize off of that. But for the most part, Sharon he had everything. He had the bars, he had the delivery, he had the flow, he had the aggression, he had the jokes. He was just in rare form at that night. And this was one of Sharon's best rounds that I've seen in a long time. And I say that to say, being that he's on Wildin' Out, he's been kind of having that Wildin' Out field on every battle that he's had. But this battle was more or less of, he took it more serious than his normal battles that he had. So I want to shout out to Sharon. I think that he won this 3-zip like a gentleman's 30. It was more or less of a gentleman's 30, but Reed Dollaz was fighting back. So this is a true definition of a gentleman's 30. I just think that Sharon won every round respectfully. You know what I mean? And that's that. Now, for the main event, we got Kshine versus Shadi Hara. So now, before I get into this battle, everybody was critiquing this battle because of they didn't want to see Shine come back versus someone like Shadi Hara. They felt that being that Shadi Hara has the accent, his bars wasn't going to carry over well. But I'm here to tell you guys, I heard Shadi Hara loud and clear. Every word was projected. He made sure he pronounced everything that he tried to say. Even with the accent, you can clearly understand what that man was saying. And boy, was he rapping. But it's something about Kshine that you just have to do better than him to win. And I haven't seen nobody get this close to beating Shine since Rum Nitty. And I don't think there will be anybody that can get to that level besides a Twerk in the Rum Nitty rematch. It just wasn't enough. And Shadi Hara was like special that night. And he showed out. He talked to the crowd. He had crowd control. He was engaging with the crowd. He had jokes. He had bars. He had aggression. He was more aggressive than a lot of the battlers that was there that night. I'll say Kshine was number one and Shadi Hart was number two, and then you may have Nick G as far as aggression goes in that battle, in those battles that went down. But I do have Kshine winning 21, and a lot of people was surprised that Shadi Hart was able to stand with Shine. But the thing about Shadi Hart, you can tell that he come from that background in London or in the UK, wherever he live at. He has that background of the streets, right? And you can hear it in the way he was talking to Kshine. It was not one scared bone in his body. He was looking him dead in his face, and he was kind of spitting at him, you know. And I want to salute to Shadi Hara. It was a well fought fight, but you gotta salute Kshine, man. Kshine, bro. This is what we waited for, and I don't care if it don't even seem as though that he hasn't battled in 2 years. It seems that this guy is well seasoned. And at a certain point, when he was shopping around this whole event, when it was with the Power Network, he said that he had wrote some stuff down, he had his bars ready, and when he had spit it to one of his guys, he understood that he had to go back into the drawing board and revamp his bars. And I feel like when he did that, it showed that it was well thought of. You know, he thought about this and it went over well. So yeah, so shout out to Kshine in that event, man. I'm just so proud to see him like rapping again. You can tell that he was relieved for lack of a better term. He just got something off his chest, and now that it's out in the open that he's back, people can book him accordingly. Not sure what the dealings is with Smack, but hopefully like they figure out their terms and whatever was owed to who, and they rectify their situation so that way he could come back on the URL stage. At the end of the day, we want to see him on the URL stage. So yeah, guys, that's that. There's other news that's been going around, but I don't want to talk about it. So yeah, but salute, man. Salute to Kshine and the Rebirth card, and hopefully we see you soon. Hopefully you can look at this video. Shine, hit me in the comments, post my video, because I always got respect for you, and I think that you're one of the GOATs. And continue, keep up the good work and spitting them hot rounds, man. Yeah, and that's that, guys. Thank you for tuning in to episode Convos in the Cave. You are now speaking to one of the best. I am your host, Mel. Hit me up in the comments. Talk to me. I'll talk back, man. Salute, man. We out of here. Let's get it.